Hey, so we're gonna be playing some Banjo-Kazooie today. Forgive me for, like, if there's any sort of jankiness with this setup, because this was really difficult to set up for some reason. I had no problem with doing this with Donkey Kong 64, but for some reason my capture card, something, I don't know. Listen, and I'm playing this on console, so that could be something difficult here. Let's just tune out the music and see how this goes. Hopefully not too difficultly. There we are. Look at that. Well, I guess I didn't have the the camera last time, so that's gonna be the difference being made here. Let me just double check something here. Okay. Can't guarantee that this isn't gonna be garbage, like audio quality or anything like that. Hopefully it's okay. I did several tests. Okay, anyway. So we're gonna start on the third file here, just because I don't want to disrupt the other files, because I never like doing that. See, the problem is when you have to use, like, because I'm doing this off a console, and when you're doing it off a console, there's always going to be an audio delay of about like 1.5 to 2 seconds. Hopefully there's not going to be that issue here, but in order to sync my camera and my microphone, because they're separate, up with the audio channel and the video channel from this, it took a lot of finagling, so hopefully it pays off. I don't know how people can do that just like regularly. This is why it's so much easier just to stream something directly off the PC. So we got Evil Gruntilda here. You know the story. If you clicked on this, you know the story of Banjo-Kazooie. You're familiar. Gruntilda is stealing Tootie, who is the sister of Banjo, to sap her of her beauty, her youth, to turn her herself, Gruntilda that is, less from an old hag and into a younger, you know, it's a classic fairy tale story. And then we play as Banjo and Kazooie, who have to go and save Tootie, who is then promptly forgot about in the following game. So, the reason why I actually wanted to play Banjo-Kazooie and hopefully get to Banjo-Tooie as well, obviously not today, Banjo-Tooie is like a 30-hour game, is because I have not yet played Yooka-Laylee, and Yooka-Laylee came out, I want to say like 4 years ago. I was part of the Kickstarter campaign for Yooka-Laylee, and I just have never played it. But I feel like in order to give context to that, I've got to give this and Banjo-Tooie a go on the stream, just to, you know, set myself up for that. I haven't actually played Banjo-Kazooie in like a while. There was a couple like failed attempts at Let's Playing it like a number of years ago, but I don't think I've played it in probably since then. Here's the other thing is, like, because like I was so like laser focused on trying to get this set up, is that I'm a little bit discombobulated right now because I'm still worrying about like is there something wrong with the stream, because usually what happens is I could just like start the stream and it just goes and it's fine, but like now I've had the microphone issues, I have to use a headset now, and then just like the audio delay. I mean, like, I don't want to belabor the point too much, but it's a bit of a headache. And if this is your first experience with Banjo-Kazooie, well, I'd say don't let me be your first experience with Banjo-Kazooie, because it's I have nothing really to say or add about the game, honestly, other than maybe I can just highlight what my experiences were. Like, of course, that image in the background there that you're seeing, just above the dresser there, that's like an early screenshot of the game, back when it was like sort of in the Project Dream phase. And if you can read up on that and just the development history of Banjo-Kazooie. It's relatively fascinating, but that's just sort of the nature of projects. You know, before you get into the groove of it, that's what happens is you go through several different iterations of the project. So wow, okay. Here's the other thing, is you don't have any of your moves, and you gotta learn the moves. You've gotta learn the moves. So listen up. This is Bottles. He's the short-sighted mole. And we're Banjo. Well, one half of us is Banjo. Sure is a strange-looking buddy, Banjo. Can it talk? Better than you can, Goggle Boy. So there's a lot of banter in this game. I think that's sort of just a natural consequence of it being a British-developed game. The sarcasm is just everywhere. So Bottles here is going to teach us the moves that we need to know. Moves that you can use. Nintendo power. If you think you're already good enough. Okay, no, I forgot you could skip this. Okay, because I already know. Now watch me screw up the basic controls and start confusing them with the DK64 controls. Meet him at the top of Spiral Mountain. There are a couple other, like, collectibles here. Yeah, hold on. Okay, yeah, no, like, there's still moves that we have to learn. Definitely, but, like, not here. You learn moves in the levels. Do you learn, like, the Talon Trot in Mumbo's Mountain? So, really, like, I grew up playing, not this game. I did not grow up playing this game. Is the honeycomb in... Yeah. That's for a life upgrade. If you get all of those, you're gonna get an extra hit point. There's another one down here. So... I did not grow up playing Banjo-Kazooie, but I did end up playing the follow-up, which is Donkey Kong 64. Which I say Donkey Kong 64, as I've made mention before, probably in my DK64 stream, is that DK64 is sort of the connective tissue between this game and Banjo-Tooie, its proper sequel. It was not made by all the same people, but there were some of the same people who worked on it. Donkey Kong 64 runs in the Banjo-Kazooie engine. So otherwise, like, there's a lot of the stuff that's the same, and in terms of general game design, it's very, very similar. I would say it's probably more, like, close to Banjo-Tooie, but it definitely is the Banjo-Tooie prototype. And so when I ended up playing these games, you know, years later after growing up and playing DK64, like, this sort of, like, it was like, wow, you know, it felt like playing DK64 again for the first time. And some of the magic, I don't know, maybe it's probably lost over the years, but definitely I had that feeling, and let's see if I can bring it back. See if we can go back to the past and play the excellent games that... I don't have a rhyme for that, but... Yeah, so I guess just let me know if there's anything, like, messed up with the stream at all. You know, setting this stuff up, it just seems effortless when you watch people do it, and then you actually do it, and you're like... it was literally like an hour and a half trying to get stuff set up here. So here we're in Gruntilda's lair. We're gonna head off to the first level, but first of all, we've got to grab this Jiggy. This is your power star in this game. Your golden banana, if you will. So you collect these, you use them to unlock worlds. In the worlds, you have collectibles to pick up. It is absolutely the Nintendo 64 collect-a-thon. Yeah, we must learn the Talon Trot in this stage. You know, it's been a while since I played Banjo-Kazooie. So in order to enter the stages, you actually have to go up over to the jigsaw pedestals, and you've got to place the jigsaw pieces into the picture. Got the first jigsaw piece, Goggle Boy. Great. To fill in the missing spaces on a picture, press A. If you don't want to use any jigsaw pieces, press B to leave. Alright, so let's go to Mumbo's Mountain. And as you can tell, Gruntilda does taunt you basically the entire time. So we gotta, like, get used to this headset. And then also give some time to clear my throat as well. There are 3 new moves to learn here. Oh man. And check out those silky smooth 15 frames a second when it's trying to load things in. So you got the notes. Yeah, collect the notes. Don't touch me, man. Alright, is the first... I'm trying to remember where everything is now, because, like, I don't actually have a guidebook for this game. Unlike DK64, where I had the guidebook, like, sitting next to me. Don't got it here. So I think we have to learn the ground pound. I call this the Beak Buster. Jump into the air, then press Z to send Kazooie slamming hard down to the floor. Gulp. I don't like the sound of that, Banjo. Get used to it, Nest Girl. You'll be using it a lot. You know, every game around this era had to have its own version of the ground pound. Like, they've all got to have their own name for it. The Beak Buster. The Simian Slam. There's a Mumbo token. We need to go use these to go into here and speak to Mumbo, our magician friend. Yeah, and so we already got this spiel about the jiggies. Yeah, here. We got it. When you're ready to leave this world, return to the start area and stand on the exit pad. Before Rare implemented the whole just press pause and leave the stage that way. And so these are eggs. These are the projectiles. There's a move. Do you know it off the bat, or no? You don't. Okay. You just gotta learn it from old bottles. It's also so weird to start playing a game like that I haven't played in such a long time. That's like much more like unresponsive, I guess. And these are extra lives, which they're not. There's no extra live system in DK64 or Banjo-Tooie, specifically because I guess they realized that it doesn't matter. This game is actually probably more punishing than either of those games, in that they want you to collect like all the notes in the stage, and the notes are like your coins or your colored bananas, and by dying in a stage on this version, if you die, you'll lose all your notes. You have to collect all of them again, and that's not the same in DK64 or like Banjo-Tooie, where the note count slash like the banana count stays the same. And that was actually rectified in the Xbox Live Arcade version. Hold on just a second here as I slightly adjust my camera. Because I guess they figured that was too hard. So yeah, here's the talent trot. Which is this, and you get to zoom around the stage. Get used to hearing the from this a lot, because that's just what I'm gonna be using. So I don't actually have the Xbox Live Arcade version, because I just don't have it. So that's why it's like I'm playing it on console. I'm playing it like this. I keep looking over at the capture and thinking like, oh no, is it like really framey? But then I realize, oh no, that's just the game. Welcome to the year 1998, by the way. I was 4 years old. I was watching PBS and Treehouse TV. And And this is what a video game looked like. This was state of the art. I wasn't playing games like this in 1998. I was playing educational computer games, maybe at most. And then like the first like video game I ever played was like Ms. Pac-Man. But yeah, it wasn't until a couple years later that I got my Nintendo 64, already as it was on its way out. I don't think I covered the Jinjos. The Jinjos are another collectible, and you just collect them in each stage, and when you collect all of them, they will, in fact, give you a Jiggy for that. Momo's Mountain is like the smallest stage. We'll be done it pretty soon. I also keep on getting confused between this and Mario 64's swimming controls. Oh, look at that magic number. Actually, hold on, I just want to see here. Okay, no, the camera capture looks fine. It's hard too because it's also like that's got a delay on it. So what you're seeing is that it's the real thing. This guy's gonna spank me. You know, the thing is though, like I look at a game like this, and I guess just because of like the era when I grew up, like this doesn't look like old or dated to me. Like it looks maybe fuzzy, but it's like it's got a certain style to it. But I'm sure like this probably looks like old and janky to people the same way that like an Atari 2600 game probably looks old and janky to me. But you know, probably a lot of like Gen Xers, that's just what video games looked like. But you know, I do fear about something like Yooka-Laylee, which I haven't played yet, is that like there's a certain look that that games like this have that Yooka-Laylee probably like loses, in that like everything is very like utilitarian almost. That's not the word I mean, but you know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of hyper detail in the actual like meshes or models. All the detail is done generally through textures, so there's not like a whole lot of extra ledges or like greebled stuff that you can get caught on. Like this would be like an actual modeled ledge, instead of just a texture of like the moss and stuff drooping over the edge in a modern game. And I feel like adding that extra layer of complexity to the general like design of the environment results in like almost like a miscommunication. Can we no, we can't fire the eggs yet. You know, we have to learn that over by Conga. You know, I think it ends up like conveying a certain miscommunication in the in the general level design, because what you're going to end up doing is like you're going to make the players looking for certain things when the environment is already sort of cluttered with other things. Does that make sense? Do we learn the... Yeah, we must learn the move over by Conga here. Anyway, so Conga uses old DK noises, and this uses other DK noises. Alright, so you need to get Conga. This game doesn't really have boss battles. It has one boss battle. It has one, maybe two, ish, like the final boss battle, and then like there's a couple other instances of like big enemies. Okay, so we need to do that, and then grab one of these, go back over here, give him the orange. Oh, Chimpy like Conga's orange. Chimpy help Fat Baron Bird. Yeah, heartburn. This is what happens when you don't eat anything and then you just drink a cola. And this allows us to do this, and then we can speak to old Bottles. And Bottles will give us time for the buzzer to learn the ancient ways of the egg. I'm listening, Beetle Breath. hold Z, then press the top C button to shoot an egg out of your mouth. Hey, sounds cool. Anything else? Sure. Press the bottom C button instead, and you can shoot them from behind, complete with a fart sound effect. Sounds painful. Wish I'd never asked. Bird Brain can carry 100 eggs in her backpack. Oh, and you can also use the control stick to aim while you're crouching. Exciting, huh? Now that you've learned to use the eggs, here's 50 to practice with. Good, we're gonna need them. There's nothing more you can teach me in this world? Good. Surprise. I realize that his animation resets, but I don't know when it is. So yeah, by what I was meaning is like, it's like everything sort of has a purpose in terms of when it's modeled out. It's like it's there for a reason. It's not always just there for detail. Which I guess is also like a problem I run into when I'm doing stuff like when I'm playing around in like Doom Builder. Like I'm always tempted to like, oh, I can do like extra detail by modeling it out with sectors and stuff, and that's just not always the best. You know what I mean? But even then, you have to work within the limitations of the engine, and then something like, say, like this compared to ukulele. Also, we got this switch. This will open up something in the overworld. Well, or spawn a Jiggy. I mean, it always spawns a Jiggy, but or it makes a Jiggy path accessible. All right. And so we've got only a couple things left to do here. The Jinjos, there's one more of them. And I guess we can go grab that before we go and we do the Mumbo transformation. And the Jinjo is like here. No. What am I talking about? That's the honeycomb piece. What am I talking about? Yellow Jinjo's on the other hill. We should get the honeycomb pieces though. Is it on this hill? Or what am I missing? Where is it? Shows you how well I know this game. Or did I collect it already? No, I collected it already. What am I talking about? So we got the honeycomb piece and we got the transformation. The transformation will allow us to access this area here, which is the termite mound. The honeycomb piece is actually just kind of annoying to collect. There we go. Alright. And then we can head back over here and we can go up the hill and we can go bother Mumbo, our magical friend, and he will give us the ability to transform into a termite. And that will allow us to climb up on the inside of the termite mound and finish the level. But we also got to do this while we're here. And you don't want to mess this up. Like that, no. Excuse me? Excuse me? Do I have to be standing like a certain distance away or what's going on? There we go. So you want to get it down to 1. Oh, I'm sorry, there's one more. Come on. There we go. All right. Yeah, and then once you're there, that'll give you a platform to grab this last honeycomb piece. Other than that, you're gonna have to otherwise you're gonna have to leave the level to come back and get that. Not sure if you can tell. It feels like there's like a slight delay between like even the video feed for my. Oh, it's so weird how I have this, because it's going into my capture card, then coming out of my capture card, going to my first monitor, and then from my capture card into my computer. And so there's like a slight delay in the signal, like either way. This is like far less noticeable than it would be otherwise. There's still like a batch of 5 notes. Me Mumbo, best shaman in all game, can help Banjo and Filthy Feathered One. This feels a little offensive. Not gonna lie. Yeah, so you need to bring him more Mumbo tokens. Yeah, and is there one in here too? Hold on, is it this post you can jump on and then go from here up onto the top? It's just eggs up there, I think. But in the Mumbo houses in the different levels, there's like other things that are up here sometimes. Okay, so we do need one more. Wait, is there one behind his chair? No. Sometimes there's things behind his chair, or at least that's what I recall. Let's get out of here. Skedaddle. Well, there's one more Mumbo token out in this stage, and I don't think I found it. Or do you have to leave and come back because it's in the overworld? The other thing, though, like, and here's something I don't miss from games of this era, is draw distance. There's also a batch of 5 notes still out here somewhere. And it's probably in the Termite Tower. So let's actually go in the Termite Tower. There's probably actually one of the Mumbo tokens in there. Game design to make you go in there, then you see the Mumbo token and you're like, hey. I missed the entrance. Oh my gosh. Get in there. Hey, ugly. No bears allowed in Ticker's Tower. So yes, there is the other Mumbo token in here, and the, sorry. I thought I could grab it like that. You can actually climb Ticker's Tower without the termite transformation, but I'm no good at it. So I won't even bother trying. Especially if I haven't tried in many years. The music inside of Ticker's Tower, though, is actually like the melody that was originally composed for Mumbo's Mountain. Because Grant Kirkhope does this thing where he uses like the same melody from the overworld and has, not the overworld, from the main level, and then uses like versions of that for like the interior areas and the underwater areas and stuff like that. And so that was still left in from the original melody for Mumbo's Mountain while the game was in its earlier stages of development. So that's why it doesn't sound like, you know, the rest of the stage. At least that's what I heard. That's what I read. Don't remember where I read it. It's probably on his website. Where'd you get those shorts? I want them. I like how they have to come up with reasons for why they're gonna still attack you while you're also a termite. But the termite is very floaty, but also it will allow you to cling to ledges a little bit better. This is gonna be eternally the problem, is like depth perception in 3D platformers. Alright, and then we come up here and we get these notes. And then that's all the notes. Circle back around. Continue climbing, please. You found all 100 notes in this world. It doesn't give you anything, but you do need those notes to unlock the later levels and ultimately the final boss. All right, so we come out here. Get this one up. Although the game overs, like, even then the game overs have no real consequence. Dying does, but game overs don't. And there we go, and that is Mumbo's Mountain completed. Be sure to tune in for the next stream or whatever. No. I remember when like I tried to do like a Let's Play of this, it was just straight up me trying to do each world in one episode, and that just didn't work out. I can't imagine like people who did Let's Plays of this back in the day where YouTube only lets you have 10-minute uploads, because that would have been a nightmare. So yeah, you can't yeah, you can't go back in and get your notes again at the same score. You know what I explained earlier. But also you can stay out here with the transformation for a little while. That was a little scary. It will change back to normal when you get out here. But that's how you get the jiggy at the top of that thing, because otherwise you can't get it. Even if you try talon trotting. So here we go. Back to normal. Alright. And so now that we've done that, we've got the talon trot, and the talon trot opens up more possibilities for us. So we'll just head up here, past the pumpkin guy on the wall here, up to the 50-note door. Yeah, and then once you leave a level after opening it up, hello Magic Pouch, welcome to the stream. Once you do that, enemies will start spawning in the overworld. To open it, you must collect the musical notes from the worlds. Did you know that? Alright. Bottles, we know. We've got to break Grunty's curse. Yeah, I know I can enter. I have the number. I have more than the number. Which actually, I think it does allow you to open some other areas early. Just a second here. Let's have a message. No, don't switch. I feel like, you know, like every single time I start up a stream, Discord gives me that notification. Would you like to switch to your headset as your audio device? It's like, no. But then it makes me think that I got a Discord message. So here's our next level. Well, this is just the painting for it. It's like they gotta do Mario 64 with extra steps. Oh yeah, you can remove pieces, and there's no reason for you to do that. Because I don't think you can unlock any levels before other levels. I might be wrong on that. Banjo-Kazooie experts, hit me up in the comments section below, or in the chat. It is a great game. Although, you know, there's still some things about this game that I wish that it had. I wish it had some more proper boss battles in it. And I don't necessarily mean like the boss battles like DK64 does it, where it's like pick up a barrel, throw it at the boss, and it plays a cinematic. Banjo-Tooie has some much better boss battles. Like, they actually feel like full fights. This game has like a couple, but they're more like big enemy fights. So now we're gonna go down here. Over there, if you go down there and you can explore. They really want you to explore the environment, but if you go down there, holy cow, that's really dark on the capture. Hopefully it's not that dark. But if you go down there, you will get the place that you'll have to go later. Rare were such good developers in their prime. That is true, but I also wonder how much of it is nostalgia, you know, because games like this, I mean, like, I didn't grow up with Banjo-Kazooie because I grew up at the time it came out, but I just never played it. Oh, genius me. Rookie mistake! Huge nostalgia for you. Bang on your gaming era. Was Banjo-Kazooie also get his frame rate? Here's Snacker, our shark friend, who's not going to bother me. He's gonna bump me into that Jinjo, or not. And the camera's gonna be incredibly cooperative. Please just let me grab it. Like, did you grow up playing Banjo-Kazooie? Cause I didn't. I played this when I was about 16. I just never managed to rent Banjo-Kazooie. It was one of the games I'd missed out on as a kid. I didn't actually play it until I started seeing YouTubers cover it, and I was like, hey, you know, there's that game by the Rare developers. The Rare developers. Those people who made the Donkey Kong games. That was a big waste. That was a big waste. Listen, we'll get into the hang of it. So then I decided to just sort of go back and play some of the Rareware back catalog, the stuff that I missed out on, just because they were games that I hadn't rented as a kid or whatever, or hadn't bought. Friends didn't have them. So there is actually but there is that feeling of nostalgia I get from the game, even though I never played it as a kid. Well, not as a little kid. And I think it is mostly because it has the same quote-unquote rare magic as Donkey Kong 64 did. Yeah, the camera's BS. But it's the best they could do with this thing. You know, it's actually, it said like with the controller here. Like, hold on, let me just give me a second here. So the controller of the Nintendo 64, you can see like design documents and stuff where it's like there's multiple ways for you to hold the controller. You know, you can hold it like this. You know, hold on, let me just swivel my chair. You can hold it like this, right? But then like some games have you hold it like this, right? Like Kirby 64 has you hold it like this. But how many games have you hold it like this? This is a valid way to hold the Nintendo 64 controller. There are some games that do have that control scheme. Maybe not by default, but you can set it up. Quake on the Nintendo 64. Set it up like this. Guaranteed, this makes Quake on the Nintendo 64 100% playable. If you put it like this, you do this for the forward, backward, left and right strafe. Map this to jump, the L, and then you can reach up this, switching weapons, and this is your camera, and then Z is fire. You're golden. It works. It works. I guarantee it. Sometimes going back will spoil the game, however. This one held up. Yeah, I do agree with that, definitely. Oh no, that's my desktop. Hopefully there's nothing embarrassing there. Wait, what? Yeah, like some games I feel like definitely don't hold up with age. I almost feel like Super Mario 64, like for a while I felt like that with that game, just because it's super rudimentary. And the base game, I think, yeah, definitely. And mind you, I haven't played any fan hacks for Super Mario 64. But you know, I've seen the fan hacks, and they look like definitely like much more interesting than the base Super Mario 64 game. Which I guess, like, Super Mario 64, it almost feels a little bit like Doom in that, you know, the base game is very rudimentary, but once you gave, either intentionally or not, gave the keys to the kingdom to the fans, they were able to just do whatever and, you know, make incredible things with it. Especially given, like, sort of modern hardware has different limitations, right? Yeah, it hasn't aged well, I guess, but, like, I mean, you gotta give it credit at the same time, right? Like, I have to say that, you know, it did a lot of things right for sort of the first game of its kind. Because there were other games from around that era that tried to do, like, the 3D platformer thing, and they had no idea how to do it. No clue. They couldn't figure out the camera. At least Super Mario 64, they found out something with the camera that could work, something with like the movement that could work. Like, it wasn't the greatest, and you know, eventually it would get refined, but it worked, and it worked better than some of the alternatives like the tank controls and just the whimsical camera stuff other games would do at the time. And sometimes some games decide, well, there's no way you can do like the not really analog camera, but like the directional, like dynamic camera. So it was like, oh, like let's just do fixed camera for everything. Well, that PlayStation GameCube era suffered, however. Super Nintendo and Mega Drive has held up. Yeah, I feel like, you know, when you have that I think it does depend on the game, though. When you get to games like later in a console's life cycle, I feel like the developers have gotten a better grasp on exactly how to work with the hardware. So like, you know, Banjo-Kazooie, it looks and plays better, arguably better than Super Mario 64. Super Mario 64 has some really tight controls, and that's what it definitely has over this game. This game looks nicer and it's designed nicer, I feel. In terms of like the world layouts and making the world layouts and the levels feel more like full and open compared to Mario 64. Of course, Mario 64 does that classic thing where it boots you out of the stage after you collect each star, excluding the 100 coin stars. And this one, it's like you just stay in the world after you get the Jiggy, because Mario 64 was like, well, I guess we gotta do this like a mission structure, whereas like the Rare games decided not to do that. Amazing when you look at the games released at the end of the console's life, why they don't lead with that. Like, I think, like some early, like, Super Nintendo games are still kind of rough around the edges. I mean, even as, like, robust as Super Castlevania 4 is in terms of its controls and stuff, in terms of the like the level layout and the sprite work especially, is still very rooted in the NES era. Whereas a game like I think Yoshi's Island is probably the game that's held up the best from that era, because Yoshi's Island looks like it's stylized in such a way that like it looks amazing. Essentially timeless, I think. And similarly, like on the GameCube, like compare like how well has the Wind Waker's graphics held up versus Twilight Princess. And I think Wind Waker is held up because it was more stylized, whereas with Twilight Princess, it's definitely like, okay, this was a game from, what year did that come out? 2004, 2003. Oh no, heck, it was 2006, wasn't it? Like that was, even though that was super late in the lifespan, they were trying to do something that was a little bit more grittier and realistic. That the console just wasn't able to really reproduce correctly. Well, not correctly, but to a better effect compared to something that was super stylized like Wind Waker. I haven't even played, and that's the thing, I haven't really even played Wind Waker beyond like maybe the opening 20-ish minutes, and that's almost entirely due to me being turned off by it when I was younger, because it was like, oh, I don't like the art style. It's too cutesy. And I guess that's, you know, when you're like, I don't know, how old was I when Wind Waker came out? I must have been like 11, 12 years old or something. It's like, you know, you're like, oh no, I want the edgier, the darker stuff, you know. So Twilight Princess was my jam. I should play Twilight Princess on stream. I haven't played Twilight Princess in a while. I don't have the Wii U version, and I don't have a Wii U here. Although I know that the Wii U version made some general sort of improvements, like when you have to do that, like those fetch quests involving those bug things. I think they reduced the amount that you had to pick up. I have heard lots of good things about Wind Waker. I should definitely play it. I know my brother has it, so I should borrow it from him. But here's the other thing about the Zelda games. Actually, Zelda games would be a perfect fit for streaming, because it'll give me motivation to actually play them. Because the only Zelda games I have ever played to completion are Twilight Princess, which I've beaten that one a few times. Breath of the Wild, which I only completed the one time, but I really like Breath of the Wild. And that's it. I haven't ever finished any other Zelda game. For a while, the game that I had the most copies of was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I had like 3 different copies of it, none of which were the N64 version, by the way. I had it on 3DS. I had it on, and I had like 2 copies of it on GameCube. But yeah, and then that's the game that like I've never finished it. Zelda's your favorite series? You could watch it all day long. I've really tried to get into Zelda, and I totally get what it is that appeals to people about nostalgia. What gives people nostalgia for Zelda, but also just what appeals to people about the Zelda games in general. Like I totally get it. Even like those era Zelda games, which is like odd because like, you know, I didn't really get into them, but they do evoke a sense of nostalgia for me. I don't want to do the Captain Blubber thing right now. Well, I guess we can. We're right here. He lost his treasure when his ship crashed. His ship crashed? Is crash the right word for that? Saying your ship crashed sounds like you're an alien. So there's 2 different compartments here that you can enter. There's this one here, and then there's another one. Let's get the Mumbo token, even though there's no Mumbo house in this stage. Oh no, we got the jank swimming controls. I mean, like, yeah, you can sort of hammer on the A button for more precise movement, but my goodness, it's slow. Mario 64's swimming controls are, like, vastly superior to this. These are just kind of bad. Another great camera moment, it's true. You know, one of my lasting memories of Ocarina of Time is, I was at my friend's house. I was probably, like, 7 or 8, and I remember him playing Ocarina of Time, and, you know, just getting up to that first, like, Goma fight, and, like, I don't know, like, I wasn't used to seeing games that were a little bit, because that's a little bit edgier than, you know, your Super Mario Brothers, and that I remember, it scared me. So I think there's always going to be, like, that extra layer of terror, you know, lasting trauma. No, Ocarina of Majora were darker. Yeah, definitely. And I hear people, like, they're always, like, the subject of, like, the urban legends, too. Let's get this Mumbo token. And I totally get it why, like, could you imagine, like, you probably experienced it, but I didn't, and I just imagine, like, what it'd be like playing, like, Ocarina of Time and then coming across, like, the dead hand. Like, that would have been terrifying if you're, like, 7 years old, right? Gets your imagination going, too. Then we're gonna learn to fly. Did you ever play Conker's Bad Fur Day? I have not played Conker's Bad Fur Day. Technically speaking, I have played, I'd say, a good chunk of Conker's Bad Fur Day's remake, Live and Reloaded, on the Xbox, but it's like basically, like, unless you want to shell out like $150, it's a lot harder to get Conker's Bad Fur Day, like, as a cartridge now. I guess I could emulate it, but I mean, I've seen the game, I've seen the whole game, and I almost feel like that's probably spoiled it for me, because I watched Panoots play it, and, like, that was hysterical. Honestly, like, and, you know, rest in peace, Panoots. He's not dead, he just doesn't stream anymore. But, you know, watching his reaction to the game was just, it was amazing, it was magical. You sold all your consoles and games a few years ago? I don't think I could ever do that. Did you get a good price for them at least? A good deal out of it? Also, I got a Discord notification here. Oh, okay. I guess I'll get back to that in a moment. I've been trying to sell my Sega Genesis, which I don't even remember how I acquired it, or when I did. I think I got it at a thrift store, but I never really used it, and it's in amazing condition, like, honestly, other than, like, it had a little bit of sticker stuff on the front, but once I got that off, it's like, it just works, like, unlike, like, most other, like, cartridge consoles I've noticed, like, over time, and I guess over use, like, if you bump them while they're plugged in, the game will freeze up, which is why I have the Nintendo 64, like, over here, like, way over here on the side, so I don't accidentally kick it, because then it'll just, like, freeze up the game. But it's the same with my NES and my Super Nintendo as well, but the Genesis is just straight up doesn't have any issues at all, like getting bumped or anything like that, and it plays perfectly fine. So I don't know if, like, was that a problem that, like, those systems had as well? It made a fortune, so you got a good deal out of it. Well, that's good. I mean, it sucks that, you know, you got rid of it, and maybe you yeah, and that you regret it. You don't know anyone who bought a Genesis? I don't think I knew any kids who had a Genesis growing up either. So I bought it because I was like, oh, there's stuff that I missed out on, clearly. But then I got it, and then, like, I just never bought games for it. I just had the Sonic 2 that came with it. I've been trying to sell it, but, like, I actually got somebody who was like, yeah, I'll buy it off of you. But now I'm just like, okay, but I can't really do that right now because of the lockdown that we're in. So I'll have to take the ad down off the classifieds. Seemed like a dead-end console. Well, I mean, the Genesis was pretty successful for the time, right? It wasn't until, like, the Dreamcast that okay, I'm still missing the yellow one. It was on top of one of these trees, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't until the Dreamcast that, like, Sega really, like... Well, Sega, like, it wasn't... There was, as people say, the Dreamcast didn't fail, we failed the Dreamcast. It was just that people didn't buy it. Because, like, the Dreamcast was one of those, like, intermediary systems. It was between, like, the 5th and 6th console generations. So people were, like, ended up moving on to, like, bigger and better things. I don't know, actually, like, the years. But I have actually played a Dreamcast before. You know, playing Star Wars Episode 1 Racer on a Dreamcast is, that's something. It's much better than the N64 version, let me tell you. But you can play it on PC now too, so I was also thinking about streaming that, to be honest. I like Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. It was the first game I ever owned. In fact, actually, no, I don't have it with me. I was gonna say, in fact, I actually still have the box for my Nintendo 64 that when it came packaged with Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, but I don't actually have it with me. It's still at my parents' place. This is also not my Nintendo 64 that came with it, because that is currently out in my living room. This is my other Nintendo 64. Is there anything else, like... Of course, there's still more things for me to collect, but... Like, any, like, major collectibles? Other than Jiggies. We know Jiggies. Okay, there's notes. I don't really plan to 100% this game. I just want to get as much as I can in the earlier levels before the challenges start getting a little bit more difficult and testing my patience. Honeycomb in the water at the back of the island. Yeah, there's that too. You actually, like, I'm guessing you probably know the game a little bit better than I do. Because still there's like a lot of stuff about this game that's just sort of slipping my memory. Unlike something like DK64, I can pretty thoroughly navigate that game. I guess just because I've played it more than any other game I've ever played. Actually, I'm not even sure if that's true. I might have played more Binding of Isaac at this point. Can't guarantee it. Although I haven't played Isaac in a long time. Coming back to you played it a lot. I guess everyone had like that, you know, that game, or, you know, those few games, those selection of games. I'm actually wondering if I can get like something else like set up here so I can stream more N64 games in the future. Just because this was a pain to set up and I don't want to disassemble it and reassemble it again. DK64 is too repetitive, I agree 100%. But you know, when you're a kid and you only got like a handful of games, you know, you end up replaying the same one over and over and over again. Did I get whatever's in here? It's just eggs. DK64 is like, it takes Banjo-Kazooie and it overcomplicates it. Which I guess Banjo-Tooie does as well. Oh, get out of that. There we go. Just me, or do we buy more games now and only like 50% complete them, if that? Yeah. But yeah, definitely the if that. I'm trying to think what my Steam like game completion rate was. It's like something like 17%. And it's always like, you know, especially on Steam or like any of these online storefronts where you get like deals. It's like, oh yeah, I'll definitely get this bundle of the Tomb Raider games all for like 20 bucks and then never play them. Which is something I did. No, Snacker, don't touch me. What was the last new thing I finished fully? Well, I guess there's just so much like extra stuff. Like I mean, like, what do you mean by like finished fully though? Because Steam counts like, oh, like multiplayer achievements and stuff like that towards a game's completion. I got all of like the collectibles and stuff in the campaign for Doom Eternal. If that counts. Oh, the controls on this. And The Witcher 3 was the last thing that you did 100%? So that's a game series I'm not even very familiar with. My familiarity with The Witcher starts and ends with the song that Vader did for like the first game, which I don't even think was official part of the soundtrack. I think it was almost just something that they just did because they were playing the game or something. Sword of the Witcher. Doom Eternal the same as the VR one. No, I actually forgot about the VR Doom game. Doom VFR, Virtual Freaking Reality. I forgot about that. I've never played it, and I heard it was like nauseating. You have the VR one? Well, like, is it any good? Because I heard it was kind of bad. No, come on. I will get back up there. Give me a moment. Massively nauseating. I don't think people have figured out VR yet. Well, Doom Eternal is like it's the most recent Doom game. Came out in May? Just had an expansion pack on it too. Although I haven't completed the expansion pack. Yes, I'm saying expansion pack and not DLC, even though it is DLC. Just because the DLC is just so freaking hard. I'll probably go back and try to pick up all the collectibles and stuff in it, like, at some point, but I'm just like, I'm just out of it. You hate DLC? I don't mind DLC if it, in certain circumstances, like if it's like the full game is already completed and then like it's like an expansion pack with like some extra levels that are not like, oh, you have to pay for the rest of the campaign. That's fine. That's normal expansion pack stuff. But like I hear this stuff about like just these horror stories about games where the DLC is like, okay, we just stripped the campaign down and you actually have to like buy the DLC to get the rest of the game. That's nonsense. Yeah, like Nintendo's not usually that bad with it. Hold on, just 1 second here. Okay, you know, I will be back in just 1 moment. I just have to address a certain thing. And we're back. Hey, welcome to the stream. You spent your entire day lying down, then thinking you shouldn't be lying down. You sit somewhere, your back starts hurting. Do you know what? I relate to that. I'm like that all the time. Constantly, actually. Actually, I'm surprised my back doesn't actually hurt today. But, it was more like It did, but it hurt this morning and I didn't want to get out of bed. Anyway. Wait, what was I doing? Sorry, I get distracted by trying to figure things out for dinner. Hold on, so what do I got? I need 5 more jiggies in this level. Also, look at how high the frame rate is on those spinning animations. Like, everything looks so crisp and so clear, and then you get into the game and it's like, chug. We've got like 5 more jiggies left in this level. Oh, we didn't give him his treasure. I'm sorry. I mean, speaking of Nintendo DLC though, I was mentioning Breath of the Wild earlier. I've actually not played the Breath of the Wild DLC. My dad has though. I remember he was trying to talk to me about it. Like, I was like, I'm sorry I haven't played it. Maybe I should. I feel like getting the Nintendo Switch to get set up with this would probably be a lot less difficult. Just because the Nintendo Switch is A, it's much more mobile and lighter of a console, and B, the cartridges, you don't have to like jam it in at a certain angle just to make sure that it actually plays. Because I definitely had that problem with the Nintendo 64, and then it's like, does the capture card recognize it or not? Because sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. We gotta do the sand castle still. So it's like sand castle and like what else? You're back? Well, I'm back too. I did disappear for a moment too. Don't worry, you didn't miss much. I hope that like I'm still worried that like the sound is off or something like that. Is the game sound off? This is like the consequences of trying to get this stuff set up. I don't know why they can't just make this easy. Sound and picture all fine? Okay, well thank you. That's actually very, very helpful feedback. So now I know what the settings are for next time if I have to disassemble this and reassemble it again. Which hopefully I won't have to do for a little while because I dislike that idea. Snacker, don't get me. Snacker, what did I say? Well, at least when he bites you, he just kind of leaves you alone for a few seconds. No. And he's so fast. Could be worse. Game sound is a little high. Like, I can definitely turn that down. Okay. Is that a little better now? Yeah, and then my camera's on so you can see me like scratching my ear and doing all sorts of other gross things. Get out of the hole. But yeah, now that I have my my N64 set up, like a whole world opens up to me in terms of the different things I can stream. Because I had it set up before I moved with the stream stuff, but I just couldn't be bothered to do it again until I guess today, when I was like, well, I'm finally gonna do this. But it does mean that if I ever stream like anything directly off my PC, now it's gonna mean that I'm going to have to switch back to the other settings, which hopefully is just going to be a matter of me turning like 3 or 4 options off. Following someone else playing this, she's on the final boss, playing now and getting battered. You seem to know what you're doing though. Well, I'm glad that you believe that I know what I'm doing, because I don't even think I know what I'm doing. We gotta go do Mr. Leaky Bucket. Excuse me, camera. Shoutouts to the time in DK64 where I fell off of a ledge and the camera freaked out on me for like a solid 5 seconds. Me leaky, no good for water. Can bear block hole? Like, I don't know how you're supposed to know to do that. Like, I guess it's more like you just gotta try a whole bunch of things and see what works. Can I not get those notes now, or do I have to fly to get them? Excuse me, camera! Where do the eggs come from? It's a good question. Why does Kazooie have to load up on more eggs to lay eggs? Can't she just lay eggs? Hey, Furball. You're looking wise. Solve my puzzle. Oh, wow. I wonder. Where's the J? Where's the J? Oh, is this it? Yeah. It's that darn lithograph font that makes it kind of difficult to discern some letters. I don't know, like for like the duplicate letters, if it really matters what order you hit them in. I don't think it does. And there's probably an optimal route to do this too. Guarantee you, the speedrunners have it all figured out. Oh boy, what a threatening enemy. All right. So now you got that. And you can come back in here and you can do like cheat codes too. Okay, I'm missing 3 notes. Where the heck am I missing them? Speedrunners would find a glitch to bypass the puzzle entirely. Probably, yeah. But not those hundo percenters. Banjo-Kazooie, 100% ultra speed run. It's probably on like a tree or something that I'm missing the notes. Speedrunners would have finished this game about half an hour ago. That's true. I feel like I could definitely learn like the DK64 like speedrun tricks. Like I know some of the tricks already. They're just like some of them are pretty difficult to pull off. Oh, do you know what? No, the notes are absolutely inside of one of the boxes. I've just decided that now. That's just a fact. Also, these things steal your like eggs and stuff. Excuse me. The time you need to invest is true. I cleared out that box. This one's just got like feathers in it. Spears will turn on Nintendo, start the game, say they're done, and turn it off as fast as possible. Have you seen Super Mario World credits warp? Now that's some intense stuff. And the only kind of thing you could figure out by actually like people looking at the game's code. Here's the other thing about this game that is different from, say, DK64 and Banjo-Tooie is that the enemies don't respawn. So once an enemy is dead, they're dead. Not forever, they're dead until you reload the level. But it also means that the health that they leave behind stays behind. Which is very strange. But I feel like it's definitely like more convenient. Are there notes in here? No. I've seen a Morrowind speedrun before. I don't remember much of it, but I do remember it was very much a blur. You know, speedrunning really sort of got its start, I believe, with Doom. But also as a consequence, like the Doom speedrunning tricks, speedrunning rules for Doom, oh come on, are actually like, please no, not when I'm this close to 100 notes, you can't kill me. So like they go by like the in-game level timer, and then like they add those all up. Doom and GoldenEye, yeah. GoldenEye is like one of those speedrunning standard games too, yeah. Yeah, and I feel definitely with like Morrowind or any of those like Bethesda games, like you have that extra layer of Bethesda jank that, you know, allows you to do a bunch of stuff. I feel like I've probably seen like a Skyrim speedrun before, but I don't remember anything about it if I have, so I should probably see if they've done it at AGDQ. I guarantee that they have at some point, and I just don't remember. Like, as much as I can appreciate like speedruns that are like actually like playing the game, I do also like speedruns that are like, how much can we break the game? But there's a certain point at which it stops being like interesting. Like I wouldn't consider like some of like the Pokemon like inventory swapping stuff to be like super interesting, unless you really want to learn how the game works. Because they do something similar to like the credits warp stuff for like Super Mario World, where it's like you have to like manage like the bits, and you're like disrupting the natural order of things. Essentially. No, seriously, which notes am I missing? I should probably just get on a flight pad and just cruise around and wait for the draw distance to kick in. I'm also trying to think of like, there's 3 Jiggies in here I'm missing too. What are they? You say like leaping across the map? Yeah, 3 notes and 3 Jiggies, yeah. You're talking about like leaping across the map using exploits in like Skyrim and Morrowind and stuff. And like the only thing it reminds me of is in the 2003 Ang Lee Hulk movie, which again, this is like the 3rd time I've brought this up on stream in the past month. When like the Hulk can just like basically fly by like jumping around. And I realize that's probably like a canon Hulk thing. It just looks really silly in the movie. Now I'm actually gonna double check to see what things I'm missing, like for sure. No, not that window. Bump ba-dum bump. I could really do with the like the Nintendo Power Guidebook right now. Yeah, so I did Cabin Blubber, I did the Hermit Crab, I did that one, I did that one, I got that one, I got that one, I got that one, I got that one. What? How on earth am I missing? Because I did all these. How on earth am I missing some? Did I just not collect the jiggies from a couple of them? Huh? Now this is where it truly begins. The Banjo-Kazooie has not begun until you start being like, okay, which jiggies am I missing? So I did the one where you went in there and up there. I know that there's one on like the outer ledge here, and that's maybe one of the ones I'm missing. Yeah, it's like over here, right? No, I got that one. Huh? Huh? Did I miss the lighthouse roof? Did I really? No? Huh? I'm confused. I feel like I've done all of them. Did something happen? Well, there's the 3 notes. Where are the jiggies? I mean, technically speaking, I can like exit the level. Because I got all the notes, so I don't have to worry about that. Treasure chest in the cave. No, I got that one. What? This is so confusing, like, honestly. I should just do them in the order that's like on the guide so I can get them all right. Oops, I missed. Okay. No, Snacker! Get off my tail. Don't. So I know for sure I did the Captain Blubber one because he's not here anymore. Right. Okay, so let's go down the list. Let's go down the list. This is frustrating. Okay, so Captain Blubber, we did that. And one of the first ones I did was the hermit crab. But just to make sure, we can go check. We can go double check. I have been in the hermit crab. I did in fact collect the jiggy from inside of him. Unless I didn't. I've done that before where I haven't collected the jiggy. Well, Jiggy is collected. All right, so it's not hermit crab. Jiggy number 3 was the sandcastle one. I'm going off of IGN's walkthrough. We did the sandcastle. We did that shock pad jump to grab the one off the cave, because we looked at that and there wasn't one there. Swim to the bottom where the Jiggy rests. I'm pretty sure we did this one, but I can double check. Absolutely. It's the one up here. Because like full well we might have missed this one. No, this one's collected too. Or is it on a separate one? Is there one up on the second one here that's there? Oh my god. Nope. Alright, so we have for sure done that one. Or no, here we go. There we go. Okay, so there's one for sure we were missing. Okay, we're only missing one in the stage? But we're missing 2. Does the... What? How does that math add up? Was I missing one in Mumbo's Mountain? What? I guess maybe I was missing one in Mumbo's Mountain. There's no way to... Is there a way to check? Yeah, there's view totals. No. Can you explain this? Okay, so 10 out of 10 for Mumbo's Mountain. Does the Switch count as it? Does the Switch count as one? The Switch must count as one. Well, we got the Switch, right? No, the Switch doesn't count as one. I'm looking at the guide, and the Switch doesn't count as one. Okay, so there's only 2 other. But explain this to me, like okay, so we got 10. We have 9. How come we only have 18 on the menu? I don't. How does that work out? Like, okay, I'm sure there's a reason for it, and it's something I've never paid attention to before, but why? I have 19 jiggies, but the menu only says I have 18. There's a couple other places I can definitely check for the last jiggy in this stage that I haven't collected. But I will need the flight pad for such a thing. So we can definitely check, like, I know I got the one on the outer ledge, because I for sure grabbed that one. I remember grabbing it. But no, that's empty, so we've done that one. What on earth could it be? Here I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna have a problem with this at all. And then I do. Right, and then we got like the outer ledge platforming area, right? Right. And then we did in fact collect the jiggy from in there. Okay, so and then we got on top of the thing, we got the Jinjos. Did I collect the Jinjos and then not collect the jiggy from it? I feel like that could be the case. I'm running out of feathers too. That was absolutely it. I collected the Jinjos, but I didn't collect the jiggy. There we go. We figured it out together. So let's just fly back to the start here and get out of here. Although, why on earth it says I have 19 jiggies, but with 20 collected plus 2 in the overworld? Oh, do you know what? Because it subtracts from your jiggy total when you put the jiggies into the puzzle. Oh, I forgot it did that. You know what? Everything makes sense now. I'm a genius. When you put the jiggies in the puzzle, it subtracts from your total, which is strange because, like, there's no reason it should do that. But that's the way this game was designed. That's what they wanted you to do. Every single time I see this area with the cannons coming out of the ships and stuff, I immediately think of the pirate stage in Pac-Man World, which would also be another great game to play. Even though I know it's very frustrating at times. Okay. So now we've learned our lesson. Do not rely on anything the game ever tells you as truth. And also remember to collect the jiggy after the Jinjos. But now we can move on to the next level. Which is Clanker's Cavern, I believe. So let's go and do that. I believe you have to go through here. It's either through here or through the bottom pipe to get to the thing to unlock it. Okay, well that's the level entrance, but I need the thing to unlock it. So it's through the bottom pipe. Listen, it's coming back to me. I'll navigate. I'll get used to it. Excuse me? Oh, this is the warp pot. Here he is. You've activated a magic cauldron. Sometimes I just end up hammering on the C button to try to get the camera to move, and it's like, no, 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 no. Okay, so no, it's not through here. Okay, so it's through the note door. It's through the note door. Listen, we'll figure it out. And look how, like this game is not forgiving at all with the amount of notes you need to collect, so you better get basically all of them in each level, because otherwise you're in trouble. Ow. Is it through the note door? Or is it further back? Because this is Bubble Gloop Swamp area. Like, after you go there, you go to Bubble Gloop Swamp. But, I mean, we've unlocked the door. Do you have to go through the, Yeah, in the Xbox version, if you collect the notes in a level, it stays. The note count stays, and in the N64 one, it doesn't. Okay, no, so it is through here. You have to press this button to raise that. But is the painting here? Painting, the, you know what I mean, the puzzle. Or do you know, it's probably like this. So you gotta do this, and then up and across. That's probably it. You like the fact that, that it's harder in the N64 game? I feel like remembering where the puzzles are is like probably just a general struggle because, oh, also, we need this. Can I write this down? So Brentilda will give you information for Grunty's final challenge, and it's randomized. Every single time you start up the game, she gives different information. So remember them well, young ones, as they will help you avoid a fiery fate. Press B if you'd like to hear them. Alright. Flea circus under that repulsive dress. Okay, I'm writing this down. Flea circus under dress. There's probably like some sort of pattern that you can use this. Hold on. She's also got this nasty pet dog whose name is Ripper. My sister sings in her own band, Grunty and the Monster Mob. Okay. There's a bunch of these like Brentilda stations throughout the overworld, and you gotta talk to her because you need all that information. Yeah, I think that's the Clanker's puzzle entrance, because like with the puzzles, it's like you only need to deal with them once, and then after that you don't have to keep coming back to them. But like with the level entrances, you know where those are because you have to keep going back to the level entrances if you want to go to the level. Yeah, the last one with Click Clock Wood, there's a side entrance off of the room that you enter Treasure Trove Cove in, and that's where its painting is. No, this is the Bubble Gloop Swamp one. Is Bubble Gloop Swamp next, and then Clanker's Cavern? Where's the Clanker painting? Let me just double check here. Clanker is next. Clanker's next. So I guess you can go to levels out of order. Second floor of Gruntilda's lair, use a shock pad on the left to reach the ledge. Second floor of Gruntilda's lair, use the shock pad, what? No, listen. No, get off the pad. We'll come back here later. Yeah, so there's a room off of the area that you access Treasure Trove Cove in, that when you go in there, that's where the puzzle for Click Clock Wood is, but you do need to spawn the pad, which you do elsewhere in the lair. Also, it gave me a welcome to the chat room message, so I don't know if my stream went down for a second. Hopefully it didn't. Second floor of Gruntilda's lair, shock pad, what? What? Oh, back here. What am I talking about? We'll learn. Press Z to place them all. Press Z to place them all, right? Isn't that it? Oh, you want to place all your pieces into the picture? Just press Z. Yeah. Yeah. Why do you have to wait me to put 2 in there first? Come on, balls. Give me the right information when I need to know it. Alright. Old Clanky. Let's go. Clanker's Cavern's a pretty small level. I have confidence that we'll be able to do it pretty quickly. But you also have to deal with the janky swimming controls, like the whole time. So we'll find out. We'll see how it goes. And apparently going into Clanker's Cavern, this is one of those like nightmare childhood ruined moments, you know, childhood trauma. Because apparently in Clanker's Cavern, which A is also where like the platforming gets a lot more difficult, when you first see Clanker, apparently that scared some kids. That's really hard to see the ladder there. Also, watch out for those guys. The notes are like way more spread out in this level too. So this is probably like the first level where it's like perilous. You can probably die. Oh, I missed it. Come on. But I feel like I know Clanker's Cavern maybe a little bit better than Treasure Trove Cove. Just because the level is so much more compact that it's like everything's sort of in a general area. You know what I mean? There's also no Mumbo House in this stage either. There is one in the next stage. I don't know. I just do that by instinct. I don't need to do that. So it's kind of weird that you're still collecting like the Mumbo tokens when it's like you haven't seen that guy in like an hour. Or, you know, presumably you're a kid playing this, so you're probably having a lot more trouble with the game. Not that I'm not having trouble with the game sometimes. Grab him. I don't need health, I don't think. Alright. So here comes the janky swimming controls. You better get used to them, or else you're in trouble. Especially because like there's a lot of places where like the main gist of the challenge is try not to drown. I can't really do this in a straight line. I'm sorry. I'm like, my brain is made of oatmeal. So Clanker doesn't like dirty water. He wants fresh air because apparently he's like a mammal. He's got a blowhole, but he's also a machine, but he's also a fish with gills. So it makes a whole lot of sense. But we need to help Clanker. And this area is like, it always reminds me of like the Bowser submarine area in Mario 64. So there's like, I'm not sure what things we can do immediately in here. Like, you can climb up on the back of Clanker's tail to sort of access these higher ledge areas, like this here. Although I think you need to raise him to get there. But there are some other things, like down here. There's a lot of these like extra tunnels that come off the side. So this is the like quote-unquote boss of the level, which is just a bunch of like mutant crabs. Snippet mutants are we, Jigsaw is ours, fight us you must. I feel like that's supposed to be read in like the Gollum voice, even though the Lord of the Rings movies weren't out at this time. So Gollum didn't really have a voice beyond like how he's written. Hello? Excuse me. Okay. I feel like this is also easier if you come back here with like the golden feather stuff, which you learn in this stage. But so you can just like, you know, cruise right through them. Which is also the thing you can do with the boss boombox in Rusty Bucket Bay, the penultimate level. Which I don't even know why Click Clock Wood is the final level. It's sort of a weird like bookend that you have like sort of like one of the least perilous looking levels, but it's still a pretty tough level. At the end of the game, when I think the toughest level, Rusty Bucket Bay, is like the second last. Can you golden feather the box? I'm pretty sure you can golden feather the box. I think I've definitely seen that done before. Get out of my face, Clanker. I also feel like I'm just so low down. Like I keep on looking over at my picture, at my stream capture, and it's like that one meme image where it's like Spider-Man sitting at the desk and he's got like a whole lot of headroom above him. It looks kind of weird. Hopefully that's better. Markiplier mode. I don't have a green screen, so I can't just like stick myself in the bottom corner. I've looked at trying to get one though, and it's like all I want is like one of those like, probably like, you know, I don't know how big it'd be, like that big. You probably even can't see that in the camera. Like collapsible, like foldable panels. It's literally just like green like plastic with like a wire thing around it, so you can sort of like fold it up and collapse it. And those things are like $200. And it's like, are you kidding me? I realize I could probably like put something together with like green construction paper, but that doesn't feel like real enough to me. I guess that's the price you pay for, you know, being real enough. You have to get your thing. Oh, come on. You like seeing what's behind me? You like seeing my bedroom? Oh, let me get the cam up. You like seeing my bed? And my shelf back there? I almost feel like this flag on the wall here would probably be better suited if it was moved over there, so it'd be more visible in camera, because I just have a whole empty space on the wall there. Although I know I'm probably gonna end up moving my flags. These are actually held here by like command strips, because I have some more flags on that wall. Hold on, let me just turn it. Hold on. Oh, there's Kirby and Gooey. But then I've got like there's also a delay on the thing. So I've got Bolt throwing an Iron Maiden flag over there. So I can't actually gives an idea what the streamer is into. I guess so. I'm not sure if you can see. You can't see right now because of my border, but if I bring that up, I do have 2 Cacodemon piggy banks up there because somebody got them for me as like a birthday gift. Somebody gave me one, and then somebody else gave me another one, and so I just ended up with 2, and so now they're up there. And I have my like that marquee there, which I didn't purchase. My roommate was getting rid of it, so I decided to snatch it from the donation pile. I also realized that like I'm still hearing the music during that, but when I switch scenes on Streamlabs, you don't. And I've got a whole bunch more headroom now again. I look weird. I look like I'm like 2 feet tall. I'm also trying to do this with like checking out the delay on the thing. Hold on, is my chair too low? Maybe? I don't know, it's definitely been a struggle, like, after moving here, like, how I wanted to set my room up, because A, you can only do so much with, like, an apartment, and B, it still doesn't feel like I live here yet, and C, like, there's only so many ways I can arrange my room. Technically, my desk right now is where, like, the bed is supposed to go, but my bed is too big, that I would basically have no room for, like, a nightstand, because it would be pressed right up against where the door opens, because it's a pretty narrow room, so my bed is sort of just floating in the middle of the room. Do I live alone? No, I do not. I live with 2 roommates. Who, as I've heard, object to me calling them my roommates because they have been my friends since I was in 6th grade. But they're still my roommates. Oh gosh, no, I couldn't afford to live alone. In this economy? Are you kidding me? Acquaintances. Well, they're my friends from, you know, when I was like 6 years old. Not 6 years old, like 10 years old. So I've known them for most of my life. But, you know, the apartment here, this bedroom layout is not the greatest. I wish there was some other way I could configure my room. I know that there are other ways, but it requires so much more work, and it's like, I don't even want to bother. In the US, it was hard to buy a house. So much land to build. It's the housing market. Here's the simple way that things work is very much. Oh, I have to go bother Gloop and go raise Clanker. There's places to live, but they're not affordable because you've gotta drain people of money in order to, you know, give them basic accommodations. Already, it's, you know, living here, 2 other roommates in a 3-bedroom apartment. This is already not unaffordable, but it is paycheck to paycheck, basically. Which is even worse right now because, like, you know, I'm not out of work, but I'm getting significantly less work now than I was before, and one of my other roommates is basically out of work and has to, you know, apply for EI just because of, you know, everything shutting down. So it's not like a particularly fun situation. I would say definitely if you're still living with your parents right now and you can do it, just stay living with your parents, you know. That's sort of a dark subject matter. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just missing every single note. That's okay. Hey, Gloop, where you at? Gloop's over there. I'm gonna die. Maybe not. Maybe not. Gloopus. I think the goal here is just to sort of take your time, which, you know, should be also your goal in life. I think, from my perspective, take your time, That's important. Especially during uncertain times. Yeah, I definitely agree. Housing should, well, I have a more extraordinary position on that, which I think that housing being a basic human right, basic housing should be free and accessible to everyone because we have that. The ability to do that. We have the technology, we can rebuild him. No more scary music. Bloop, fill me up. I'll wait for the next one. I just want to be topped up here. The key doesn't even turn all the way. There we go. Just gotta get in that loading zone, so... Well, I guess it has to turn all the way, but I don't even know why you have to swim through it 3 times. Also, here's the other thing, is thank you, Magic Pals, for following, by the way. But just because the way I have my audio set up, I can only hear the game. I can't hear my computer audio, so... But thank you for following. I noticed that was like an hour ago. And just after I got my alerts and stuff set up to be like... so that they work. Alright, so I need to be topped up by Gloop. Come on. Hello, camera. Before I start heading to the top, otherwise I'm gonna die. Because I want like full freaking, yeah, just like that. Now just immediately crank it up, get out of there. You're all done down here. I'm not sure if you can hear me hammering on the B button, but it's like, get out of there. You're impressed with me? Why is that the case? I don't understand. I'm not impressed with myself. Especially not my performance in this game. Because I should know where these jiggies are. Well, here's one here. Can you imagine if I missed this one? Oh, well, thank you. I actually think I'm a big dum-dum head. With oatmeal for brains. Just a good presenter. Well, thank you. I'm also really bad with taking, like, feedback sometimes, because I'm like, I don't know. I always feel like people are lying to me too, you know? Like, or they're just saying things to be nice. Which I'm sure, like, that's not the case, and like, genuinely, I do accept the compliment, so thank you. But maybe that's also the part of my brain that tells me that I'm a dum-dum brain. I guess, you know, I do also have, like, probably more experience with doing streaming and stuff now, and YouTube stuff and Let's Play stuff in general, because I've been doing it for years. I know definitely when I first started out, like, I was way more awkward than this. So I mean, even though I don't have, like, a lot of followers or anything like that, I feel like at least I have, like, the experience, maybe? Yeah, there we go. I was scared I wasn't gonna get on the pole. I forgot how far away it was. Trust me, in my line of work, I'd be free with constructive feedback. You're doing well. Well, thank you. Okay, so that was the right thing to do. Yeah, and then we got our extra life piece. Camera? Okay. I definitely feel though, like, in contrast with like my YouTube videos, I come across like way more stuttery here, but like this is like actually how I talk, and I'm super scatterbrained. That's not something that I like. But I guess that's just a consequence of, you know, having ADHD. You get latched onto like a subject matter to talk to, and then you just talk for like ages, and then like the second something else like mildly more interesting to your brain comes up, you latch onto that, and so you totally forget the tangent you were just going on. Do I public speak? No. Not any more than this. I'm terrified of doing public speaking. It's like, that's like actually like a nightmare for me. I've always been so bad with like presentations in class and stuff. But then again, I haven't really had to do that in a long time because the last time I really had to do that was when I was in university. And I've been out of university for 2 years? 3 years? Maybe longer? Just do what you're doing now. This is some of the most encouraging advice that I've ever gotten. Thank you. Like, genuinely. That's true. I do not. I do not know you. Clanker. Clanker. There we go. Alright, so now I gotta get the one on the other side. Oh, come on. When it comes to like my YouTube videos, I feel like I definitely like would benefit from like a teleprompter camera. Because this is how I normally speak. In my YouTube videos, I'm like way more focused. Oh, I thought I got it. One more time. One more time. This is the side with the jiggy on it. Oh, it forced me underwater. Come on, dude. He's all better now. I cured his toothache. BRB, sure thing. The other side's got a Mumbo token on it, and then we'll do the inside of Clanker. This and like inside of Jabu Jabu, and just like we should not like. Maybe we should bring that back. Bring back going inside of large whale-like creatures in video games. I definitely feel, you know, like that. I am super scatterbrained. I do repeat myself a lot, just like I'm doing right now. In my YouTube videos, I come across probably like way more focused than I actually am, and so I'm always sort of self-conscious that like somebody's gonna watch my YouTube videos and go like, okay, well, what does this person sound like when they're, why am I going after the health? I have full health. What does this person sound like, you know, when they're streaming, like how they're naturally talking, and it's like way, way different than in my YouTube videos where it's like I have a script that I've thoroughly vetted and thought out beforehand, and I've rehearsed basically every line. There's a couple different like YouTube videos for sure that I want to do. I just don't know how to go about them, or like at least YouTube topics, if that makes sense. Like one of them being the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I just rewatched for about the 3rd time this year, last night, because I do love that movie. I would actually probably consider it in my favorite movies of all time. And I have a lot of things to say about it, and I really would like to like analyze it thoroughly, like top to bottom. I just don't know how I'd go about structuring or writing that video. But then beyond that, the other problem that occurs with that is showing the movie footage, and YouTube's fine with game footage. The second you show movie footage, it's like, no, you can't use that for criticism or anything. I've heard that it helps to flip the frame, like mirror the frame, but then the second it picks up the audio, so you gotta find some janky ways, like filters or something that you can apply over top of the footage, to talk about certain things. I don't get like ad revenue from YouTube, so not anymore. After they changed their partner program limitations, so that's not a concern. About like my videos getting demonetized. It's more like copyright strikes, right? We got 7 jiggies in this stage already? Swim faster, Banjo? Alright, so that's not the one we want to go in. There's one we want to go in, and that has the purple Jinjo in it. The Jinjos are kind of annoying to find in this stage. Oh no, it's up here, I think. And then there's another video I want to do, which, like, I've never really settled on, like, if it's gonna be one video or several videos or just an ongoing series of videos, if I ever have the time to do it. But I want to do videos talking about metal. And I want to do it in a way that's, like, accessible for people who are not into it to watch it. And, you know, to get to learn about the subjects and understand it, I guess. The same way that, like, I'll watch videos about, like, basically any subject that, like, I'm not even really interested in, and as long as the YouTuber can present it in, like, an entertaining way, then that'll make it interesting for me to watch. And I wish that I could do that with metal without coming across as, like, an info-dumping weirdo, where I'm just like, oh, did you know this about this? You know, actually having a point to the video. Which is why I feel like it would make sense to, like, better break it up. And I think largely it would be, like, in... I don't have the thing. Bottles. Please tell me, teach me the ways of the golden feather. Like, you know, if you want to learn about metal from, like, an outsider's perspective, it's probably best to watch, like, Metal: A Headbanger's Journey, and then the Metal Evolution TV series. But at the same time, I almost feel like that doesn't really cover it from the angle that I would take it at. Because I almost feel like that stuff is like, regardless of if you can watch it as an outsider, that stuff is still made by metalheads for metalheads. I would almost want to do it in a way that's like, okay, here's like there's so many different videos out there where it's like, this is a piece of art that I've or an artistic medium that I've, like, never heard of, or, like, I've heard of but I'm not familiar with it. What is it? And you know, being able to watch those videos and at least come away with, like, at least a decent understanding of what it is, that I think is huge in, like, video making. Isn't there, like, a second room here for me to go into? I don't know, hold on. I want to collect the notes over here. With the... No, they're on this side in the exit hole. This comes out Clanker's Gills, if I remember correctly. So, like, I watch a lot of, like, LGR, Technology Connections, 8-Bit Dude, stuff like that, where it's very much like talking about things that I'm not super familiar with, and maybe really only have a passing interest in to begin with, but like the presentation of the video makes me feel like I'm interested in it, or at least, you know, it keeps me engaged and wanting to watch more. I did this tunnel already. There's a couple different tunnels. By a couple different, I mean like 4. There might be more than 4. We could also stand to do some of this like tube stuff down here. Which, you know, everything mechanical in here just, it reminds me of Frantic Factory from Donkey Kong 64. I was about to call it Harry Potter 64, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. How does that follow at all? There's notes in this one, right? Of course, there's notes in the long, tough one. Camera. If you're not lined up at the start, you know, like the Fitness Gram Pacer test, you're in trouble here. Get out. Get out. Get out like Jordan Peele depends on it. I've never seen Get Out, by the way. I hope you're also understanding, like, my commentary style is entirely about me getting distracted by things that I say. No, this is the exit. This is the clanker hole. The get out of the level tunnel. Need to surface for a second, and we'll do the one on the other side here. There's 2 more, yeah. So there are 4 tunnels. I was correct. 4 tunnels aside from the exit tunnel. So there's 5 tunnels. So I was not correct. I've lied. They're all like different colors, almost, too. Well, I've also lied because the other one was yellow. And that reminds me of like the multiplayer arenas in DK64, how like they have like different colored tunnels and I don't know. Just memories, dude. And there's apparently 6 tunnels. Maybe. Did I do this one? Oh, this is Jinjo Town. Oh, but this tunnel leads out to the other side, so is it a full tunnel? Here's a better question. How many holes does a straw have? Now think about that. Are you sure you want to stay with that answer? Is it 1 or 2? Here's the real answer. 0. A straw does not have a hole in it. The straw is the hole. It feels like a trick question, but perhaps it's much simpler than that. View totals. We're missing 1 honeycomb. I could get a box of honeycomb. It's in my kitchen right now. 2 jiggies, 10 notes. Like, what on earth am I missing this from? Is it like blowhole zone? Do I have to go to blowhole zone? I was up in there already. Or is there more stuff to do inside a clanker that I've forgotten about? Well, let's go to blowhole zone and see if we can see from there. Well, I did that whole side there, and I did that side for sure. Maybe there's more stuff like under the water, under the sea. There's this tunnel here, but this probably just has like eggs or feathers or something in it, right? Absolutely just an egg tunnel. But does it have a Jinjo? I'm missing the orange Jinjo. So let me just double check this real quick, where the orange Jinjo is located in Clanko. So I did that one, Oh, it's in the blowhole. Well, not the Jinjo's not inside the blowhole. When facing Clanker, go to the right wall. Use the shock pad to grab the small pipe. Jump into the bigger pipe. Ground pound through the gate. Did I not do that? Okay, so I forgot about Clanker blowhole. So we need to do Clanker blowhole. Clanker blowhole. And we also gotta there's to the right of Clanker here. We gotta do this section again. Did I not do this? Wait, no, this is the wrong side of Clanker. I got turned around. We're on the wrong side of Clanker. Yeah, okay. I got turned around. So it's on left side of Clanker. Let's oh, there's still notes there. Wait, what? Shock pad? Okay. Shock pad's over here. What am I doing? Yeah, and you can't reach this one by jumping out of the water, can you? You have to actually be on his fin. Yeah, we got that. Okay, alright. And then probably the rest of the notes are inside of Clanker Blowhole Town. Okay, and then we go back over here. And we use shock pad, like did we not get the Jinjo that was here? We went up here. I still hear him. Okay. Let's try that again. Yeah, because you can't ledge grab in this game. Something you didn't learn until Banjo-Tooie. Apparently Banjo can't use his freaking paws. I'm hearing it out of... Is it in here? There you go. In the pipe, yeah. I feel like I was hearing it out of the wrong side. You know what I mean? And there's the one up. So yeah, now we gotta do the blowhole thing. Yeah, it was in the pipe, yeah. Sorry, there is a delay. Open up, you weird undulating hole thing. Let me get in there. Now we got Witch Switch. And that opens up the things there. Bedtime over there? Oops, wrong thing. I guess I can do it without it. Well, thank you for dropping by, and also for your feedback on the stream as well. It's very much appreciated. And thank you for following too. You should have yourself a good night. Okay, maybe I do need the golden feather. I did find all the notes in this world. And I have now achieved all the jiggies. We're done. I just need to leave. Which I can do through this hole down here. And then I guess we can probably move on to Bubbled Gloop and see how that goes. Boom, 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 boom. Well, now we got to actually get out of the Clanker's cavern, which is a bit of a trek. First, we gotta go down here. I'm not sure if we'll continue from Bubble Gloop. I might actually just wrap it up for now. Can't be certain. I'll check out and see what's going on, and I'll probably maybe continue after dinner, continue it tomorrow. I don't know. I've been at this for a couple hours now. This has been fun. But also, yes, I'm hungry. There's also a couple other like great video topics I've been considering. You know, I do want to maybe cover like some older. I'm always fascinated by like older stuff that's like no longer available. You know, almost like lost media, I guess. And one of the things I want to talk about is something that I spent a lot of time on when I was a kid, which is YTV.com. You know, YTV are one of our children's broadcasting networks here in Canada. You know, they had a website. All of them had websites with activities and stuff. All these sites, all these channels had that. And on there, they actually had their equivalents of sort of like trying to cash in on like the Neopets type craze, like where you have like an online thing that you can play with. And so they're like, and it was a social thing, you know, and you can trade things with other members, and you could talk to them about it on like the forums and stuff like that. Oh, it's an out of date. Okay. And they had a thing called Sidekick, and Sidekick, it was basically like, oh, you can just customize what it looks like, and you can trade like the cosmetics, like as they were called chips, with different users, and you could talk about trading them on the forums. You could arrange trading them, and I kind of want to do a video just covering that. It's such a niche, specific thing, but it was you know, at least interesting enough that I'm not sure if you can see that the Sidekick Remastered is an app that you can get made by like people who like. Well, not people like me, people with far more Unity coding knowledge than the zilch that I have, got together and made an app that's basically trying to recreate it. But a lot of it is still lost to time. There were games that came with the Sidekick. In fact, like there was a series of these little mini games that you would play when you first got your Sidekick account that are gone. Lost basically forever. There's like remnants of like cutscenes that are still there, but like the site's gone. The flash files are who knows where. Somebody's probably still got them out there, but it's just a matter of time before either they uncover it or maybe it's lost forever. I'm always intrigued by like lost media like that, especially like niche specific things like that. You know, when I talked in the previous stream about actually, yeah, we're gonna wrap up Banjo-Kazooie from here, but I did talk in like the previous stream about Cracks, the Sesame Street short that was later found like years and years and years later, all due to like the hard work of people who remembered it, who really wanted to find the original stuff. The original short, and so that stuff like that's fascinating to me. I would love to do videos that cover that kind of thing in more specific detail. Like, you know, as I said, talking about like the Super Mario Brothers movie, there's deleted scenes from that movie that were never officially released. The SMB Movie Archive, who's, you know, a group of fans who are dedicated to that movie, actually have some of those deleted scenes. Because, at least as far as I know, because they have like a rough cut of it on VHS that like basically nobody else has seen. And you know, I'd love to do videos where I cover stuff like that. I guess the problem really comes down to like, I feel like I'm just like explaining something and I'm not really adding anything to it. So I want to at least be able to like cover stuff like that while also like drawing some other meaning out of it. And that's really the tough part. You know, I talked about like stuff from a bygone era, you know, the Concerned Children's Advertisers, PSAs, the development history of Winamp. So I really do feel like that's sort of my central focus on my channel almost, is stuff from sort of a bygone era. How do you address those things, talking about particular trends and what's the meaning out of it? What meaning can you draw out of those things? And that's what I'm super interested in that. And I love watching other YouTubers cover things like that all the time. So I just have to find the things that like other people haven't talked about, you know, things that interest me at the same time, and just, you know, I guess get at it. Also, my that music was probably way too loud while I was talking there. So yeah, like I'm definitely interested in seeing more of oh no, maybe the music wasn't that loud. Seeing more of that stuff, and also like hopefully getting into covering stuff of that on my own. I guess it is just hard though, because if I ask for like suggestions, which I'm always totally open to video idea suggestions. I'm not necessarily going to go along with it if I'm just not interested in the topic. But that's the other thing is it's like I have to find things that I have enough interest in the topic to talk about. And if it's something that I was totally unfamiliar with, like, I mean, theoretically, I could do a video on something like Neopets, but it's like something that I never even touched. So I don't know a dang thing about it. I'd have to do basically research, but I don't know how invested I could be in that topic if it's something that I was never familiar with. Definitely with stuff like Concerned Children's Advertisers and Winamp, those topics were definitely things that's like I was invested in. Things that I knew stuff about going in, and I wanted to learn more. So yeah, I'm definitely always looking for stuff like that. And you know, as far as streams go, I would love to play more N64 games. I definitely want to continue playing Banjo-Kazooie. I've been having fun with it so far. But I am gonna end up calling the stream for now. Might be back later. Might not. If you want to tune in for that, you can check out my Twitter feed. It's right there, at @pure_slime. If you're looking for my other social media links, they're also down below the video here. But they're also, you know, below the video on the YouTube video if you're watching it on YouTube as well. But for right now, that's gonna be it. Thank you everyone who came out, supported, and those of you who are watching on YouTube. I will catch you next time in the world of slime.